Okay, students, so today we are going to work with a word problem with the word some in it. Again, it's not the type of sum that you add, but it's some meaning we don't know what it is. So I'm going to first read the problem and then we'll read it together. There were 20 fish in a pond. Some fish swam away. There are now 16 fish in the pond. How many fish swam away? Now let's read it together. There were 20 fish in a pond. Some fish swam away. There are now 16 fish in the pond. How many fish swam away? So the purpose of this problem is we need to figure out what or how many fish swam away. So we need to look at our sentence, and this is what we call an interrogative sentence, ends with a question mark. We need to turn it into a declarative sentence, which ends with a period. So you need to take our question and turn it into a sentence. So how many fish swam away? I would think blank fish swam away. So I'm going to write that blank fish swam away. Period. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to begin my bar model. As I do this, I'm going to look and I'm going to say, okay, I need to find out what is involved. So if I look at this, I'm going to say there were fish in. Okay, so fish is what's involved. I'm going to write fish. And then I'm going to cross it off because I have it here. What is involved is pond. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I have fish and a pond are involved. Then I'm going to create my starting line. Now we are going to do two separate bar models today. The first bar model will just show it with a bar, and the next I'm going to show it with how you could do it with different objects. So now I'm going to read the problem in chunks, and the first one says, there were 20 fish in a pond. So I'm looking at it and I'm going to say, okay, I need to show something that shows 20 fish. So I'm going to draw a bar that shows 20 fish. I know the total. I know how many fish are in that pond. So that is my whole. The other way I could do this is I could draw 20 fish. I could say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now if that works better for you, that's fine. This is nice because you have a visual and you can actually see the amount of fish. There are some problems with it. When you do this, there is higher room for error or higher room for a mistake, you just want to make sure you have the 20 if you're actually saying 20. So we know the whole, we know the total amount of fish. So since we've shown that on our bar model, we're now going to cross that off. So have we taken care of that? There are 20 fish in a pond. So here's our 20 fish. You have it visually, and you have it also with the bar. That means if I put the 20 here, the value of this bar, or what it is worth, is 20. Now, some fish swam away. So now it's saying, okay, we have some fish that swam away. And if I look at this, I'm thinking, okay, if I have fish swam away, that means they left. Now I want you to think in your head, if they swam away, does that mean we're adding on or taking away? I hope you thought take away, because that's what happened. If they went away, they've left. So it would be taking away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, I know my total bar here is 20, but I know part of this went away. So some of these fish swam away. So I'm going to just put an X there showing some of these fish left. I don't know how many, but I know some of them left. So I'm going to say, okay, I've taken care of some. I still don't know what that is, but that is my question mark as well. I can put it up here as well. This is my question mark. I don't know how many left. But I know after they swam away that there are now 16 fish in the pond. So I know from there, that means that the rest of this is 16, okay? Because I know my whole and I know my part. If I look down here, I can say, okay, well, I know I have 16 left, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to say, okay, this much is how many are still in the pond, but then I know this many right here is the one that swam away. I'm going to cross those off. So if I'm looking at this now I'm beautifully set up to put my number bond together. And this right here, I don't know. I'm going to put this as my question mark. I'm going to put this as my, what I do know. I know that 16 went away. Well, now if we look at this, we have a whole and a part. I hope you thought of that. I have my whole and my part. I know if I have a whole and a part, that my problem will be a subtraction problem. So from there, I have to create my number bond. So if my whole is 16, oops, my whole is not 16. I hope some of you got that. My whole is 20. My part is 16. And I do not know my other part. Okay? I will, and you guys probably already know it, but remember, if I have a part and a part, I add to get my whole. If I have a whole and a part, I subtract to get my other part. Well, now all I need to do is set up my equation. Well, I can say, okay, I can set this up a couple different ways. I can say 20 minus 16 equals something, okay? I could also say something plus 16 equals 20. I could also say 20 minus something equals 16. Or I could say 16 plus something is going to give me 20. So those of you who would prefer a visual model, you could just basically look at this here and say, okay, well, I know if there's 16 left, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So yes, what I don't know is that's one method you could use to solve it. I know that my question mark would be 4, because 4 plus 16 would be 20, and it shows right here. Or you could count on. You could say, okay, I'm going to put 16 in my head, and I'm going to count up to 20. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We know that this would equal 4 as well. So every time we have that, this would equal our 4. Now, I've done everything except for I do need to cross off that I have put 16 fish in my bar model. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to finish my sentence because I need to put this in a complete sentence. So right here it says blank fish swam away. Well, how many fish swam away? Right here, the total fish that swam away would have been 4. So now I'm going to make sure I have everything. Do I have my who? I have my what? I have my bars with the question mark in place of where it would be. Remember, you do not have to have both of those. It just depends on what your preference is as far as the bar model goes. Some of you are a lot more visual, and this would work better for you. Some of you would prefer to have it. This is visual as well. It does teach you what you're looking for. So you can have one of these. I have my number bond. I have multiple different equations. All you need is one, but you can have all of these. This shows the fact families and how it works. And I have my written sentence with a period and my answer here. So if blank fish swam away, and I have 4 fish swam away. And then you always want to make sure you mark off your problem. So that is our bar model for today. What I want you to do is I want you to, I want you to do this with me. So you can go back and watch it again, and I want you to write it on paper and do it. You don't need to trace the problem, but just do the bar model area, because tomorrow I'm going to have you try the problem first alone and then watch how I do it afterwards. Now remember, there is a variety of ways to do things. If you remember in class, I'd always I really advocate, or I really like it when students have different ways to show their pictures, but you do have to have some sort of visual representation. Anyway, I hope this helps, and I hopefully today it's the right side up. So thanks for working. See you soon.